Dear students, I believe that all of you are in sound health and sound mind with the good grace of Almighty, even in the midst of pandemic. Today, I'm going to talk about the rise and fall of a great man, Macbeth. I'm Mritunjoy, lecturer, Department of English, Central Women's College, and I will talk about the tragedy in detail. Let's see the learning outcome of our class today. After the end of the class, the students will know some key features of Macbeth. They will know about the setting and different characters. They will also know the brief story of the tragedy Macbeth. They will also know why is Macbeth a tragic hero. And last of all, they will be able to learn the role of witches in Macbeth. The full title of Macbeth is The Tragedy of Macbeth. It is written by William Shakespeare. Definitely it is a tragedy. It was first published in First Folio edition 1623. The tone of the Macbeth is dark and ominous, and the play dramatizes damaging physical and psychological effects of political ambition. Students, the action of the play takes place in northern Scotland and England, and it is also apparent that as the tragedy of Macbeth opens, the Scottish army is battling against invading forces, in which King Duncan expects a victory. Dear students, this is the list of characters at a glance. I hope the chart will help you to remember all the characters very easily. If we do talk about all the characters in detail, we have seen that King Duncan is truly the King of Scotland, who is eventually murdered by Macbeth, and who has two sons, Malcolm and Donalbain. Macbeth is the protagonist of the tragedy. He is a brave general under Duncan, who ultimately becomes the King of Scotland. Lady Macbeth was an ambitious woman who actually made an evil plot of killing the King Duncan, and it was she who instigated Macbeth to kill the King Duncan. Dear students, we have also seen that Banquo was another victim of Macbeth's greed and political ambition. He was eventually murdered by Macbeth. Students, we have also seen that in the very beginning of the play, Macbeth and Banquo met the three witches, who ultimately create a great impact in the later phase of Macbeth. So, it was the three witches who tell Macbeth that he is to become the King of Scotland. And if we do talk about the tragedy in brief, we have seen that Macbeth was the Thane of Glamis, who learns from three witches that he is going to be the King of Scotland. He was truly overwhelmed with the prophecy, and later on, out of political ambition, he kills the King Duncan and takes the throne for himself. It was his confidence in the prophecies which led him to his downfall, and he is finally killed by Macduff. In Act 1, we have seen that Macbeth saves Scotland. Banquo and Macbeth met three witches at the time of coming from the battle. Macbeth and Lady Macbeth plan to kill Duncan. And in Act 2, Duncan is murdered. Macbeth becomes King of Scotland. And Banquo and Macduff suspect about Macbeth. In Act 3, we have seen that Macbeth kills Banquo, and Banquo's son Fleance escapes. Banquo's ghost haunts Macbeth, And in Act 4, we have also seen that witches warn Macbeth about Macduff, and Macbeth kills Macduff's son and wife. And in the final act, Lady Macbeth becomes mad, Macduff kills Macbeth, and eventually Malcolm becomes the King of Scotland. Students, to go into the depth of the question, we should focus on the characteristics of a tragic hero suggested by Aristotle. And in the very first phase of the characteristics, we have seen that hamartia is the foremost characteristic of a tragic hero. And it is such a characteristic which means a tragic flaw causing the downfall of a hero. And if we consider Macbeth's perspective, we have seen that it is the indomitable ambition of becoming king which is Macbeth's hamartia. Hubris is seen the another characteristic of a tragic hero, which means excessive pride and disrespect for the natural order of things. And if we compare the feature with Macbeth, we have seen that Macbeth, who is a man of arrogance, kills the King Duncan to become king, breaking the natural order. Nemesis is one of the most significant features of a tragic hero, which refers to a punishment that the protagonist cannot avoid. And if we compare the feature with Macbeth, we have seen that Macduff is the nemesis of Macbeth, as Macbeth was unaware of the fact that Macduff was not born naturally. Anagnorisis is truly a moment when a hero makes an important discovery in the story. And we have seen that learning about Macduff's birth is a moment of Macbeth's anagnorisis. Dear students, I hope that you have understood why is Macbeth called a tragic hero. Now let's talk about the role of witches in Macbeth. The role of witches in Macbeth is truly undeniable. They indirectly control Macbeth and his actions throughout the play, and definitely they play the significant role in Macbeth through their prophecies. And there are few important quotes from Macbeth. I hope that you can use the important quotes in your broad answers. And that's all, dear students. I hope that you have understood all my information I have provided through my lecture. And if you still cannot understand anything, you are most welcome to ask me in the comment box. Thank you. Have a nice time. Stay cool. Stay protected. Bye bye.